MUSKOX Snow Tire. Designed for the Bobcat Toolcat, it pairs perfectly with your MUSKOX snowblower. The tire's 10.5-inch width provides excellent traction while still closely hugging the Toolcat. With a total width of only 59 inches and rocking a MUSKOX 2560, you can clear snow in those hard-to-reach areas. The large diameter tire gains up to an additional 3 to 4 miles per hour for your top-end speed, allowing you to transition between job sites faster. It also increases ground clearance by 1.5 inches over other tires available. The tire's thick tread lasts longer, and its soft compliance rubber grips the ground better in icy conditions. Power up your Toolcat's winter performance with a MUSKOX Snow Tire. Run with the herd. MUSKOX innovation and versatility empowers you to tackle winter. Wherever you are, and whatever it throws at you. MUSKOX. Run with the herd.
I love that intro. Welcome to the MUSKOX year-end live stream. My name is John. I'll be your MC today. We're really excited to talk to all of you about the year we've had with MUSKOX and also about what our customers are doing with our machines from one end of this continent to the other. Now, a little housekeeping. If you have questions, by all means, please leave them in the chat. We will get to them later in the stream. Also, if your stream is lagging for any reason, Facebook's been a little bit slow, be patient. We've got a lot of great stuff for you, so please just wait for the page to refresh and we'll be going. That's enough from me. There's only one person who can really lead these live streams, our co-founder, co-CEO, Mr. Adam Bergman.
That intro was way too great, but welcome everybody to our show. We're excited to go through our 60-inch blower, which was brand new this year, our 78-inch, which is what Ron and I started this company on, and our 90-inch blower. You're also going to see our new tires that we're pretty excited about. But we'll get into each of the machines. We're going to hear from some operators today. We're going to hear from some dealers that we have. And you're going to meet some of the faces behind the scenes that help make this a great product. Anyway, I talk on the camera a lot. Let's go grab Ron. He's working back in research and development with 2 key players to this company. So let's go get Ron. Ron, what the heck are you guys? That does not look like a snowblower.
Covered it up. Holy geez, we can't be letting them see this top secret stuff over here in our corner. So, hi, Adam.
Hey guys,
you guys got it covered. Thank you.
We got Paul and Tim back here. You guys are going to meet Paul and Tim, see what they do for our company. And we're always innovating, moving forward. This spring, we're going to be having another show where we're introducing new products that we have for the 25 season that we're super excited about. But today is about focusing about the 24 season, things that we did different on our product, things that we're excited about. And again, hear from the operators and then also our dealers, some of the experiences they've had. As John said earlier, it's awesome when you guys reach out to us with questions. So through this live stream, any question that you have, please ask. John will relay them over to us, and Ron and I will talk about it. But let's start with our 78-inch blower. This is where we started, right? This is the bread and butter, as they would call it. This is where the innovation first began that we're really excited about. So when I see that machine, I'll have Ron hop over on that side.
I was fixing the light here.
We remembered everything except one light, so I'm glad you got that turned on.
Yep.
But looking at this model, so this is our 5th iteration already. So we're getting old. Been around for a while doing this. But right away, something that catches my eye is this logo being on top. Now, I know that MUSKOX logo, that looks cool, but there's more behind the story. So why don't you talk about what your team did different with the housing this year?
Yeah, we added that cutout in there. Oh, no, we did some more. We added some thickness to our fan housing. We went up to 1/4 inch thick on that fan housing. Go ahead, Adam. You maybe have understood why we would do that.
Yeah, so we're always listening to you guys as operators, and we're operators as well. So we're always taking from that experience. And one thing that we saw with snowblowers is that housing tends to be a breaking point for a snowblower. So we put time and energy into creating a thicker steel that allowed us to operate better, not just for the short term, but we're looking into the long term for you guys as operators. So it made the machine a little bit heavier, but a little bit thicker, and we're just taking a wear point and making it that much stronger. So we're really excited about that. That was standard on all of our blowers this year, and it's something we're continuing forward with. So we're very excited about that. Also on the 78, you turned on the light, which was fantastic back here.
Good job, Ron.
But something that we definitely recognized was that snowblowers should really have a consistent speed for wet and heavy snow. So why don't you talk about that flow regulator and what you guys did there?
Yeah, I'll get down here and point it out. You'll notice on our this year's blower, which we didn't have in the past, it's a bypass valve. So we run our fluid full flow to the fan motor. After the fan motor, we dump the fluid back to tank other than 23 gallons a minute. What that does, it makes our auger run at a consistent speed, a lot slower than we used to be on our high flow machines, which works better in wet snow.
So
Pretty
that's
good explanation.
Yeah, you nailed it. So again, we pay attention to the operators and feedback. I live in North Dakota, you live in Minnesota. We know there's a different kind of snow condition here than we might have in Alaska, than we might have out on the East Coast. So what we tried to do was find a speed that was ideal. So you guys spent a lot of time doing that, and we're really excited about that.
Exactly.
So as we hop over, we'll get into our 60 and 90 inch, but what's kind of neat is we've talked about this a lot over the years. We have a cool little video that shows one of our operators running a 78 inch. So John, if you want to take it from here and run with that video.
Absolutely. All right. Want to give a little shout out to Hagen's Total Lawn in my home state of Minnesota. Mitchell here is from Cottage Grove. He's actually running a 2478, and he writes on Instagram, After struggling with heavy, wet snow, I figured out how to run the MUSKOX in these conditions, and what a game changer. This thing is awesome. Now, he posted the security camera footage of him blowing with the MUSKOX. Adam, Ron, can you walk us through what you see in this video? What is he able to do with this machine?
Yeah, so that's really exciting to watch. Like when we started out with this idea 7-8 years ago and came forward with it, this was something we envisioned, was an opportunity with we go in thick snow, small snow. This is a couple inches of snow, but what we're trying to do is eliminate that labor cost with shoveling in front of a garage door. As you also see when we're running that, see that black pavement? We're able to, with our rubber squeegee, pull that moisture off the ground. So that rubber squeegee has been great for us, and you're getting an opportunity to see it back drag and blow at the same time, which is how this all started.
Exactly.
And then being able to back drag, so we're pulling that moisture off the ground. But why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I was just noticing that. Remember when we first built this blower, we had a upper cut edge, was metal.
Yeah.
And you remember your neighbor?
Yeah.
I hope he isn't watching this. But I came up to Grand Forks and we were testing. So I went in and back drug by his house to show off, hey, this is great. I'll clean off his sidewalk, scratch the crap out of his brand new sidewalk. So anyway, then Adam and I got in a discussion. We went to a rubber cut edge on the front. And as you can see on that black, nice asphalt or cobblestone, it just squeegees off the wet moisture and really has done a good job for us.
Yeah.
Since that first, I'll call it a fault, or what do you call that? Innovation or change or...
And I think innovation and change, so it's super important to us. I think you talk about something with the evolution of the product. Like we were very focused, you were very focused on a steel cutting edges and the pros to that. We learned that there was more cons to that, and we leaned in on this rubber cutting edge, and it's just awesome to see that asphalt and see an operator in your home state who is successfully getting through a lot of accounts. I know when we've talked to Mitchell that he feels that he's 30% more efficient.
Yeah, making money doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's a big part.
And if they're not making money, we're not making money. So we say that quite often. If it's not working for the operator, it doesn't work for us in the long run. So that's just awesome to see. That's a great video. Thank you, Mitchell, for sending that over to us. We have thousands of these blowers that are out here doing tens of thousands of driveways. That's just one example. So it's nice to see that. So that's a 78-inch blower. Now we want to hop over and talk a little bit about our 60-inch blower. So this was brand new this year. So we were excited to come out with that. The 78-inch has been around for a while. We've now come out with our 60-inch blower, which we're really excited about. This was the first season of selling it.
That's correct.
It's gone very well with that. So why don't you talk a little bit about the 60-inch and maybe some insight you have, and maybe talk about some specific machines that we run that with.
Well, obviously it's narrower. One thing with narrow is you call it more maneuverable, getting in between objects, maybe down a wider sidewalk, it's 60 inches wide, and fitting it like a Toolcat. Very popular machine out there for removing snow. This is real maneuverable on it. Yeah, I guess that's really the main features, maneuverability, getting in between objects.
And I think where we're winning with that, Ron explained it really well. If you're a municipality, if you're a school district, if you're a university, if you're a hospital, that is a lot of the companies or people that are buying the 60-inch blower. Ron talked about it with sidewalks, which is key, but also with the good partnership with the Toolcat. Toolcats, we work on all brands of skid steers. We have an ASV that I'm standing in front of. We work with John Deere's. We'll get into that. We work with every brand, but that Toolcat gives an opportunity with cities buying those. And in order to really see that 60-inch in action, we can talk about it all day long, but I think John has another video that we can queue up and we can watch a 60-inch in action a little bit and talk about a customer that's using it nowhere in Minnesota this time. I think it's somewhere else where this operator is using our 60-inch.
Very, very much someplace else. So this guy Charlie Hawks from North Pole, Alaska. So Charlie's running a 2560, and he's got MUSKOX tires. We'll talk about those in a minute. He got his equipment from our partner up in Anchorage, Snow 49. Shout out to Shondor. Now, what's cool about Charlie is that because he had this equipment, he was able to pick up a 20-mile sidewalk contract with the state. He can drive 7 miles per hour, blowing 2 inches of snow. Beautiful custom wrap job on that Bobcat as well. So talk a little bit about how the MUSKOX is saving people time, and also what our customers are able to do with that extra time, with that extra speed.
So what's fantastic about that is that when we see the 60-inch, you have a vision, right? When we're building something, we're trying to think of how operators are going to use that machine. We talked a little bit about cities using a 60-inch to do their sidewalks. So this is a lot of fun to see that in action, where he's going 7 miles an hour. He's getting a lot of the snow removed very quickly. When I see that, it also makes me think of the 60-inch is we're a little unique. We are a snow blower, as everybody knows. We have our back drag feature, which is super neat. You know, we do this all the time. We see that in all the videos, but we also are able to shear ice. So when they're doing a sidewalk like that, why don't you, Ron, talk about how we can get in our third position, which is shearing ice.
Yeah, that good point there. I think if you look at some of our videos that are on the internet, it'll show us shearing ice, which turned out to be a real big feature. I remember the first time we did that, we were in Grand Forks, and they had sidewalks down by the river. Remember that? And people had been walking on there, compacted. People were walking, kind of tripping and falling and slipping. We came out there in shear mode, tipped ahead, sheared the ice off that asphalt walkway. Half a day later, it was melted, and everybody was happy. So from that, we went forward, you know, to continue to put that feature on our blower.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So it's a big deal. So you guys as operators, as you look into our product, remember that we go in 3 different positions, right? We're our traditional snow blower, which is outstanding, but we also have the ability to back drag and blow, which is a big deal. And then we have this neat feature where we're able to rotate and we're able to shear that ice. So as Ron talked about it, we're at inverted cutting edge. This is how we sit as we ride on a glide plate. It's really neat. We can get over grass, we can get over gravel, but you have the ability to rotate and go through and shear that ice. It's something that's hard to sometimes pick up in the video, but it's something that operators absolutely love, as we're currently in 36 states all over Canada with that.
Well, like you said there, Adam, shearing was a big deal, but when we inverted that cut edge, and you bring that up, I remember us out in the shop, the first thing that happened, we were whipping down a sidewalk, and I hooked, concrete was sticking up a ½ inch. I hooked it and about put me through the windshield on the loader. So we talked about what's the better way. So we turned the cut edge upside down. All of a sudden, everything started working. The other big thing was going across grass, sod. I can go out on a gravel driveway or in sod or grass, and the blower just floats across. It doesn't cut in. Makes it easier to manage the angle of your cut edge on your blower. So
yeah, 100%. Well said. So as you guys look into our product, reaching out to us and you guys get to see the different abilities that we have with the machine is key. So those are just a few of them. And it's just a lot of things that we've learned as operators. Like Ron's talking about, he cut that edge. I cut an edge doing snow removal for rental properties. So cutting that same edge. So we kept on looking at these things that, hey, here's a problem. We worked on a solution, and now we have that with that 60-inch. But shout out, it's pretty cool. That was at the North Pole in Alaska. So
do you hear that? North Pole. You know
North
who
Pole,
comes
Alaska.
from the North Pole? John?
Yes.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Do you think, who was it, the contractor that did the sidewalks? What was this fellow's
His name is
again?
Charlie Hawks.
Well, hello. Could you talk to Santa Claus? I bet that is coming up in just a week.
Well,
And maybe clear a runway for the sleigh,
you know,
for
Ron,
better
I have to
takeoff.
tell you, Santa has a pretty strong NDA game. So if Charlie is helping someone out, I don't think we would be able to find out about it. But whoever clears that runway, we appreciate
Probably already has it
appreciate
covered. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they'll get to John's house to see his kids, and that's very important to us.
Yes, absolutely.
No,
So we've talked about that a little bit. Now I see this lit up here a little bit. Let's slide over and let's talk about our tires a little bit. So we talked about that 60-inch, and we talked about the Bobcat Toolcat and how that works. So why don't you talk about the relationship that the 60-inch snowblower has with these tires, and then a little bit about what you guys have done with those tires, what you educated on, what you learned, and why we landed where we landed with those tires.
Toolcat. If you take a stock Toolcat, for instance, the outside of the standard tires is wider than 60-inch. So we said, well, let's build a tire that goes within 60 inches. So we offset the rim correctly. And then going on icy surfaces, having a siped tire, not souped, siped tire helps grip ice, which anybody driving in the northern states here on ice knows that a good soft rubber and siped tires give you traction. So that is what we chose to go with on the Toolcat. At the same time, we increased the height, which increased the road speed. So going from job to job, you get up close to 20 miles an hour with the Toolcat, which I know myself, we use one here. It's nice to get back and forth between projects. So
that's pretty outstanding. So as you as operators are looking into making decisions on drive units, we love every brand of skid steer. This just happens to be a specific one for the Bobcat Toolcat if you guys are operating that. What this does with that narrower tire is it allows us to run a 60-inch blower on a Toolcat. You can also run a 78-inch on a Toolcat. It's also very popular. It just depends on what you guys are trying to achieve with your snow removal. We know all companies are built different, have different goals, and what we're trying to do is just have a blueprint to help you guys out with however your operation runs. So I think that 60-78 has done that, and this tire is a big compliment. We got a lot of customers that are using them. They love the increased road speed, that narrower height, get farther up in the air, and that softer rubber, like you said, just grabs better on the ice and the snow.
really big deal.
Yeah, so we're very
Adam
proud of
and
that.
Ron, one thing we did is we actually have a little video prepared to show people what these tires look like for the visual learners out there, myself included. Now a good time to roll that for them?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, folks. And we got a couple of questions after that. So here comes our look at the tires.
So that's neat how you can see the width of that 60-inch blower. You can see how it sat outside those tires. So you're not getting any of the rubber touching your road, doing the blowing first.
You also, another minor gain is that you gain some height. So if you drive the Toolcat through some deep snow prior to blowing, there's more belly clearance, which is noticeable.
Yeah, right on, because you guys all reach out to us about big snow. So this isn't that big snow, right? Getting higher up in the air definitely has a lot of value. So that's been great. That's something new we came out with this season, and we've successfully been selling those tires, and it's always fun to see them go out.
And we got our first question from Mr. James Glover. So thank you, James. He's asking, are the Toolcat tires holding up well? So can you tell us a little bit about how they're lasting throughout our entire first season with them? So over to you guys.
Yeah, real well. It's a heavy duty or medium duty truck tire. So you could imagine the durability for running down the road at 60 to 80 miles an hour. And we're using it on a 20-mile-an-hour machine. And so no, they've been holding up great. No issues.
Beautiful. Glad to hear that. All right. That was our
we
first
love
question.
that question, James. So if there's more questions, reach out. We like the hard questions, the easy questions.
You want more? We got more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So which camera do you want me talking to right now?
Peter's camera is fine.
Okay, sounds good.
Peter's camera is fine. So
you said
Peter's
camera?
two things here. So first of all, we got a question from Noah Salverson. So, hey Noah, thanks for watching us on YouTube. Why is the shear mode special? Is it the cutting edge shape? Then we also have a comment following that on YouTube from someone called Cheddar Ches. You do you. The ice shear is one of the best features. I plow on an HOA with north-facing driveways, and ice was the largest problem for those. Super helpful. Mike, Steamboat Springs, Yampa Valley Excavation. Hi, Mike. How's Steamboat Springs? But anyway, off to you guys.
Yeah, so that's a great question. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but with that steel cutting edge, one of the advantages that we certainly have with that steel cutting edge is that we don't naturally ride on it. So as we talk about, we both had experiences in snow removal before this, just different kinds of experiences. Me from doing it from a commercial perspective, Ron doing it on a farm. And one of the things with the steel cutting edge is when you always rode on that steel cutting edge, you'd start to round it off, right? So you naturally are going over the top. And you don't always need to be riding on that steel cutting edge. What's neat about
people go look at a bucket, a dirt bucket, or anything they use, you'll see that curl and it becomes on sharp. So
correct. So it ends up being an extra job, right? Yep. We're trying to save on labor. So we would take these steel cutting edges off. We'd have to sharpen them on a regular basis, or maybe even replace them because we're wearing through them. Well, with a MUSKOX, what's unique is we ride on a glide plate. That's naturally how we ride, because we don't want steel to touch the surface unless you as the operator want to make that decision. So part of what allows that design to happen is not naturally riding on it. You make the decision when you want to engage that steel cutting edge onto the surface. So that's just me talking about as the operator running that and seeing it in a commercial position. But Ron, maybe you can get into the steel a little bit, some thickness, maybe some numbers on that.
The steel cut edge, it's a 3/4 inch high carbon steel, like most cut edges are. But like Adam's saying, the big deal is you're wearing on what I call the heel or the radius corner of it, which helps not cause damage to anything unless you choose to rotate ahead and use a sharp edge. I know we're beating this up quite a bit, but like this fellow said, it is a big deal. And it's really proprietary to us. I don't know of anybody else inverting. The company that we build this cut edge with corrects me every time we order them. Well, you've got the countersunk hole in the wrong side. So he's telling me nobody else does it. So.
Yeah, we went a different direction with that. So those are great questions. As you guys have questions, reach out to them, comments, whatever it might be. We'll sure address them through John. But that's exciting. We love that. You guys are loving that feature, and it's something really neat. So again, just watching that steel cutting edge inverted, watch our leveling wheel, and it'll show you when you're perfectly engaged to scrape that surface. It's something we win with customers, and we know tens of thousands of driveways every year get that treatment, which is pretty neat. So we've talked about our 78, we've talked about the 60, we've talked about our tires. Now let's move into our 90-inch, because we have 3 blowers now.
Correct.
that we sell. So let's talk about that 90-inch blower. I'm going to keep you kind of close to me here and get into the 90-inch. It's the exact same machine as our 78 and 60, right? It has all the same features. Something neat about MUSKOX is we're very consistent, right? So when you purchase a blower from us, everybody's getting the same features. One thing we do is we switch out the motor sizes to match your skid steer. So you do get a bit of customization. When you guys reach out to us or work with our dealers, they're gonna find out what kind of skid steer you're using so we can match that motor size to that skid steer for optimal performance. It's a big thing that we do. We take a lot of pride and take time to do that. But Ryan, why don't you talk a little bit about why we make a 90-inch blower and maybe what the fit is and the type of machines that people use it on?
I guess, Adam, the 90-inch and 78-inch, you cover a little more territory, maybe not as big a deal as when you have a wide body skid loader. Having right now, on most loaders with 78, you cover the whole track. On wide bodies, you are compressing snow when you went forward with the 78. So we have the 90 for the big body skid loaders is maybe the main reason for it, other than you do cover a little more territory.
And I think that's a key point that Ron talks about is bigger isn't always better. I mean, they say that sometimes, but bigger isn't always better. And what we like to try to do is work with you guys as the operator to get the right fit. Because there's certain skid steers that the 78 is the best option. There's some that the 60 is the best option. And to your point, the 90-inch really fits for those wide-bodied skid steers. You guys all run successful businesses, and there's reasons why you buy the skid steer size you do. So if you do have a big, wide-bodied skid steer, that's 84 inches wide with the track, 85 inches, 86 inches wide, we have an option for you with the 90-inch. So one of the responsibilities we have is just creating opportunities for our operators. And I think we've done a good job with that, with now having 3 different sizes to cover that with the skid steers.
That's correct. And Adam did share a little bit, and I think everybody that we've worked with understands that we build the blower to order. When people call in to us direct or through our dealers, we do set up the blower with the correct wire harness to match your loader. Every skid loader has to have a different pinout. So we do convert that for you. The motor, we put the correct size on for the flow on your loader. And so the idea is plug and play. You get it home and you're ready to go. So.
Yeah, you nailed a big feature there. So we talked about with the motor, but Ron brought up a great point. So if you guys are watching this right now, you're interested in a MUSKOX, you're interested in one for this year or next season, it's fantastic. But Ron said it's plug and play. So we have the electronic harnesses, so we can plug into any brand of skid steer. So it's an important feature, and it's some time we take. I know we've heard from a few operators of the machines, but something that's very important to MUSKOX is we're direct to consumer, but we also sell through dealerships in a lot of different markets. We have a lot of great dealer partners. And I think we have a video with one of our dealer partners that's been with us for a couple years out east. John, if you want to take over from there.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Job at Chapel Tractor. Snow season's coming, and I wanted to talk to you about the most innovative hydraulic skid steer snowblower that's out there, and it's the MUSKOX. So they make 3 models, the 60-inch, 78, and the 90, which we have right here. The 90-inch is for your really big machines, 40 gallons, 50 gallons a minute, and really blow snow. This is generation 4 this year. Our new ones coming in are going to be generation 5, and they just keep upgrading, updating, changing little things, making tweaks. That's one thing that in the snowblower industry, a lot of designs stay the same. They're stagnant. And most snowblowers, don't know why, they're built in the Midwest. Midwest snow is totally different than East Coast snow. East Coast snow is hard, it's heavy, it's wet, it can be slushy. The MUSKOX team, knowing and understanding the different snow conditions, have changed their impellers, their augers, their fan speeds. They have different size hydraulic motors for different gallons a minute. What makes this blower unique is you can back drag. Instead of pushing and compacting all that.
No, I just love the fact that he is giving us something. It's nice to hear a compliment for something that you know you're working hard on. And I think Job, speaks very much to what we're attempting to do here, what Ron has worked really hard on with this machine. So can you guys talk a little bit about what it means to be changing and innovating and working on the blower, and also what our dealers mean and how they work with us to let us know what customers are looking for?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, I want to say, if we do get in an arm wrestling match, Job's on my team.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that.
He looks a little different than we do on the camera. But met Job many times, fantastic guy. Hi, Job, if you're watching this. Job is out east, so he deals with a different type of snow, as he said, in the Midwest. But why don't you maybe talk a little bit about that, what we've learned when we started this company, and our vision was maybe a little smaller than what it's become, and that's sure expanded over time. But we started off focusing on the area we live in. And what have we learned in different markets, different snow, different conditions, different operators?
Yeah, that you get out wet snow, lake effect snow, or the eastern seaboard snow compared to even Montana snow, cotton snow, here in Minnesota, cold snow. It's a constant, continues to be a constant update. You know, we go and test, we learn. I think the biggest thing I could say is we listen. If somebody sees an issue that they feel or we feel we can continue to develop to make the product work better, we definitely want that feedback. I know our dealers are great at it. Direct to consumers, when they call with something, they'll have very valuable input. And I guess that's my big message, is that's how we've gotten to where we are, and we'll continue to work with everybody out there to make our snowblower the best in the industry.
Speaking of feedback, Ron, we've got some more hot feedback coming in on Facebook. So want me to give you a batch of these questions, and then you can kind of piece it all together?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But I want to say one quick thing.
Oh, of course.
Ron's gotten really good at listening. We talked about Santa Claus earlier. When I was 9 years old, I really wanted a Nintendo. Ron did not listen to me, but Santa Claus did and delivered the Nintendo. So thank you, Santa Claus, and to the North Pole. It was much appreciated. But yeah, let's get into a few of the comments and questions. That'd be fantastic.
Could you, first of all, maybe dox yourself and tell us all which Nintendo you were hoping for? Because you could place your age at significantly different intervals.
Was that Mario Brothers?
Just because you're younger than me, John. It was the original NES that got delivered by Santa Claus. What a gentle soul, and he listened to the letter I wrote. So thank you, Santa Claus.
I got to bring, what was that, Nintendo, or what was Mario? What was he on? Super Mario. You got that also, remember?
It came with the machine.
And him and I'd fight. He's a kid this big, I'm this big, and I want to play it. And anyway, this Mario guy, he'd come, and there was a hole he'd fall in. You had to jump over. The first thing on the video, I could never get over the first trench. He'd always laugh at me.
Yeah, you're good at a lot of things. Mario Brothers is one of them. But it's good you're good at snowblowers. So let's get some questions or comments that are out there first, John.
So we've got several. I'll give you the nice comments, then we got some serious questions. Bob Wolfram says, nice, exclamation point. Actually, 3 exclamation points. Toolcat, big fan. Tyler McGlynn notes that it is easier for me to get on my tilt bed trailer with my Toolcat versus the standard ones. Also, I'm probably butchering all of your names. We do apologize about that. But when we talk to you on the phone, feel free to correct me, and I will happily issue a retraction. So, 2 big questions. Jesse Hay is wondering, how do these do on the compact wheel loaders? So, compact wheel loaders. And then Jason Taylor is wondering, where could he go see this blower live in action? He's located in Quebec, Canada. And he also wants to know, how is it performing on a WL38 Wacker Newson? So we got some general questions there about compact wheel loaders, a very specific question, and also a geographic question about seeing a muskox in Quebec. So if you have any more questions, we're reading them. Hit them up. And
yeah, love it. So
you guys.
We're continuing to expand our business, right? When we started off, there was no demos available. Now there's getting to be more as we deal with our dealer partners. So Jason, the best thing you could do is we'll take that information, we'll direct message you and find out the best ability we have to get somebody close to you. We will also look into that Wacker machine.
Yeah, I was
so we don't
say, I know the Wacker brand, but that exact model, you can contact us here at MUSKOX, and we will work that through with you. I have to go study that exact model. So
yeah, there's a few of them models that are super popular for us that we know. We do have customers that operate on Wackers. So the best thing that we can do, we take the time to work with you, Jason, to see what is that right machine and right fit for you. So we love that question, but we would take that, pull it up on our screen and know specifically. So when we get off this live stream, you'll send us a message. You'll probably hear from one of us or somebody from our team sometime today, and we'd love to chat about that.
Yeah, as you guys migrate to your seats here, I will underline what Adam just said. We've got salespeople and our team standing by, manning the phone number. I'm going to put the phone number up right now. So you can always reach us. We try to get back to people as quickly as possible, but Mike's out there, Reed's out there, Mr. Nate Tangen is out there doing great work for us. So the MUSKOX team, we try to be as responsive as possible. And looks like I already got a note from Jason that he heard us, and I can't quite read all the emojis he did, but they look positive in nature. So I think he's happy with us. So Jason, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Wow, great answers, guys. This is perfect. No, Jason, you are perfect, or at least you're hopefully on the nice list. All right, so back to you guys. But we got a lot to talk about. We have a big year.
I want to address in that last call before the whacker question, I think there was a small articulating loader question that we blew by.
Yes, there was.
And yes, we do go on small articulating loaders. We'll talk to you on the hookup, that type thing. We've got to talk about weight. As it gets down into smaller chassis, we are a 12 to 1,400 pound blower. So we need to talk to you about that. We are familiar with them and can give you, help give you direction or inspiration on that. So.
No,
go ahead.
That is super well said. And we are very live right now, so I'm going to ask John a question. I'm going to be on this camera, right? Ron, we're going to put you on, wave at the camera you're on. Nope, that one right there.
Okay, so if I lean forward, they won't be able to see you, just me?
Yeah, perfect. And then, John, if there's any way on the screen in front of me, if I can see what camera is running live on the feed, if that's an option, that'd be fantastic. Nope, not an option. That's all right.
That's
we'll keep it rolling. We know which cameras. We know which cameras to talk to.
You look good, though, by the way.
Yeah. I don't like to see myself.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I changed my haircut because of what you've done to me over the last couple of years.
You wanted to be like that. Yeah.
But yeah, we've covered a few of the machines. We love the questions and the feedback that are coming into us. Continue to reach out with those questions, and we'll get back to you. We're going to work with you, right? We're going to find the right fit for you, find out what machine you're using, because like we said earlier, if you guys are successful with your operation, we become successful with our operation. And
I'm just checking if there's vodka in here.
That'll be for later, if everything goes well. But reach out to us. We love when we get a chance to talk to you guys, find that perfect fit for the muskox, for you guys to go out, because you guys do a huge service for your communities, right? You guys are taking care of those communities. You're moving that snow. You're allowing people to get to school. You're allowing kids to get to daycare. You're allowing the world to function in big snowstorms. So we realize the responsibility we have to have a machine that allows you guys to operate, to go service your community. So to you operators that do that, very much appreciate that.
I think with that said, I know what phone calls, I hate to tell you, call me at midnight on Sunday night, but call me. We're a company that, like Adam says, we really do care about you getting the job done. So we stress with you if you're having issues, so give us a call anytime.
Now, one thing I have to add is that this year we've become a much bigger company and that we've been adding people as the year has gone on. So while the questions keep rolling in, what do you guys think about maybe talking through some of the high points this year as the team has grown and that level of service, and how you guys have passed on what you were passionate about snowblowers, how you've passed that on to more of us as we've come on to work with you? So
we get to talk about the people that actually make it happen. Yeah. I love that idea.
It's a good idea.
Let's get into it.
So first and foremost, why don't you, well, we're going to meet this guy here, Mr. Noah O. You guys ready?
Hi, I'm Noah Osna. I started at MUSKOX in January, so I've been working here for about 12 months. I first started in assembly, and I moved on to now I'm working more with service and parts. So whenever they call our service line, I'm the one that answers any questions they might have, or delivers them parts if they need parts. I'm the one that ships out the orders, so yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed about him, he still has hair.
Just give him a few years. He is very young. Noah, what's kind of neat about Noah, and if his mom and dad are watching, I went to high school with his dad and Noah's mom very well. And Noah had graduated with a business degree, and he wanted to use his hands. Mm-hmm. Well, we can use a lot of extra hands around here.
His head a lot. His hands a little, his head a lot, I think. He's
well, I think it started with using his hands, which is super important. Yep. And then he's had an opportunity to evolve with this company. And what's really neat about Noah, he's like a sponge when it comes to information.
Unbelievable.
We give him a task, and he achieves it at a super high level very quickly. And he's a hard worker, and he's been such an important role. So he started off by building snowblowers for us all summer long. Yep. We identified that talent, and we want to do everything we can to keep him around. And now he's moved into a new role with us where he works along with Dean that you guys met last year. Now they've moved into shipping, and now they're embracing a new software system that we're leaning into.
There you go. That's a good way to say that.
We're learning all of that.
Absolutely. I had noticed, so on that, we must have been busy in the shop. I see you had him out in the cold when you were filming that. I seen steam coming out of his mouth. So I don't know who made that decision, but you know that.
Well,
I toughen him up here in northern Minnesota.
Absolutely.
We did meet Bob last year.
Oh,
He's the one that pays the bills, so maybe he didn't pay the heat
Well, the
bill.
heat was turned down that day. Oh, okay.
I
very
think
well
we
could
may
be.
have just gotten
Anyway,
a
yeah,
message
great
from
to have you,
Tamara
Noah.
Ostina.
Oh.
Is that, did we get it? I think we just got a comment. Tamara, is that Noah's
Yes,
mom?
Tamara.
Tamara.
Close, but yes, Tamara.
Oh,
Tamara's watching. Hi, Tamara.
hi, Mom. Noah's actually not here right now to greet her, but great. It's nice that Mom's watching.
Yeah, so Noah did a great job, and it's funny when you live in a small community like we do. One of Ron's closest friends growing up was actually Noah's grandfather.
Oh, yeah, that's
and I'm
right.
good friends with the father and the mom, so it all comes full
We
circle.
used to watch the Red Green show together. Anyway, Gordy sees this, he'll remember that. I had a shop out at the farm, which you remember, and I was always in there creating crazy stuff. And then we'd have to stop to watch the Red Green show and putting duct tape on everything. So we thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
So hi to Gordy and Cindy.
Hi, Gordy and Cindy. Yeah.
Sean and Tamara. And thank you for having a great grandson and son. He's been a fantastic addition to this company and has done a lot in 12 months.
And of course, January was a busy month for us in
Yeah.
terms of adding new team members. I think, want to meet the next guy?
Yeah, 100%.
He looks, I will warn you, he looks a little older than Noah does, and that hasn't changed much in this time here. Let's say hello to Tim.
Oh, geez. There.
My name is Tim Sordahl. I've been working here at MUSKOX for a little over a year now. Started off in production and then slowly got evolved into a purchasing role, which I'm pretty excited about, working with suppliers directly, and then also working with on new development here at MUSKOX. Ron's always thinking outside the box, so we're always chasing the new and greatest thing. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy that part of it.
So I'll start with Tim quick, and I get a little choked up when it comes to Tim. So Tim, now back to this family, friends, small community. John was trying to make a joke about me being old again because Tim and I graduated high school together. And Tim and I have been good friends since we were in kindergarten, and that friendship carried through high school and also after high school. We actually lived together a few different times, and our lives took different paths as we were chasing different careers. We had an opportunity to cross paths with Tim again, and he came on board. And I talked about that earlier with Noah. Tim's a very similar story. Tim came in because we needed hands. We needed people that could build these blowers, and it's a super important role to build these blowers. The quality control, get them done, get it done fast. And then every one of these blowers, they got to work perfectly, because if they don't work for you out in a snowstorm, it's not a good situation. So Tim helped build those blowers. And then you really started to recognize that talent that I've known Tim's had forever. You knew him when he's younger. You knew him through the years. Then you got a chance to work with him. So why don't you kind of talk about what Tim's doing with this company right now?
Well, that with Tim, like he said, he started with us. Very important part of our company is assembling our product, quality control, getting things assembled. And Tim is a real aggressive, get it done guy. I used to pride myself in being the earliest guy to work, and the latest one here, he took over for me. I tell you, at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, he's always here. Where I noticed when I was behind on some phone calls with some vendor, I had Tim get on the phone. I noticed that he could interact at a high level with vendors or people and understood compassion and partnership, and just was a natural to pick up the purchasing engineering role here at MUSKOX. He's doing a great job. Has really taken a lot of pressure off me to be able to work on what I like to do, creating new stuff. So great to have Tim on board, doing a great job for us here at MUSKOX.
And to pile in on the compliments, he purchases. I've also seen him play a big role in the development of new product with you.
Yeah, he's got ideas beyond what you could ever expect. I always said that at my prior job, if everybody agreed, you weren't all needed. And Tim, I have to say, he doesn't always agree with me, and I appreciate that. It's strong input, opinions. Maybe he got that from you. I think. Not that you never disagree with me. But.
Well, of course.
I think that happens often, and that's all right. It helps us push things forward.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I know you guys had to get right down to work with Tim, because one of the things this year that you wanted me to have you talk about is this year we started our pre-assembly earlier than ever. So by the time you get your blower, there's been a whole process to build that blower, obviously. But what's been interesting from a layman's perspective is how far out in advance that construction begins, and also how many different complicated processes take place before the blowers are loaded on the trucks and shipped to our customers. So, Ron, would you mind walking us through a little bit? What is pre-assembly, and what did it mean to get it done in January this year?
Yeah, I always use the example of Henry Ford. Anybody asks, well, how do you produce snowmobiles out of it? We don't have a real large facility, and we build around 60 blowers a week. And that isn't just build them, we build them, run them, do the quality checks, crate them. And it's really on that theory. We are, through our team here, organizing. Dean plays a big role in that, making sure that all the components are ready. It starts with purchasing, getting the parts here, then the organization of those parts, and then we do pre-assembly. So when we build a blower, there are more complicated components like the hydraulics. There's the master control block and a number of hoses. We'll pre-assemble all of those for a build for maybe a couple weeks. We'll do a few hundred blocks, have all the components on it. So when we're doing assembly, they'll bring in a tote with that. We call it the octopus because it looks like an octopus, and it goes on the blower. The augers, the other parts, the bearings are pre-assembled. Everything's ready to assemble on the blower. Therefore, when we run the assembly line, we only run 3 people on our assembly line, just to give you the idea of size. So we run down that line, and like I say, it's about 20 blowers a day. They come off that line, so everybody really, it's a big team effort to get that done. So.
Absolutely. Now, we moved from spring last year into the summer, and we do something kind of cool around here with our blowers in the summertime. It's a way that we test those blowers. So, Adam, is it a problem if we show people what we're up to when we're testing snow blowers?
Depends on how much you show, but I think I've seen the video and you did a good job with it.
Well, they'll see what I mean here in a second.
Why was that blower blurred out? Is there something different there, John? There's something. Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, folks, we're a family-friendly company, and our blowers are always dressed in a very nice layer of either black or white paint. We have to test our blowers naked, as it were. So to keep this a family-friendly stream, we went ahead and blurred out what those blowers look like when they are not clothed in the beautiful MUSKOX colors. But why don't you, Ron, take us through a little bit about that testing. First of all, as an entry point, how do you find that much sawdust?
Well, they're called the Amish. Anyway, There's a family right up the road from us that they have a sawmill. They use a rotary saw. So it isn't fine dust like if you had a band saw. So it's kind of chips. And there's tons. They have a pile that's, 1,000 feet long, 500 feet wide, and 60 feet high of sawdust. We started testing in that, and it simulated real heavy, massive snow, and really puts our blowers through the test. They also, every once in a while, have oak chunks where they'll cut off the end of cants, they call them, or ends of pallets, so we're able to lock the blower up, check for durability. So yeah, that's really adds to our R&D phase, which can continue through the summer.
I think what's important to that is that we as a company, people ask us all the time, well, what do you do during the summer? Right? And we are just as busy during the summer as we are during the winter, right? We're building blowers during that time, but you guys continue to test new product, new ideas, and we're always working on something new. But going out there and testing that year round is fantastic. It allows us to be more innovative, to get products out there quicker as we listen to the operators. So we're always looking at challenges, like Ron talked about, that chunk of wood that gets cut in. It's kind of like catching a chunk of ice in the winter. So there's a lot of things that we've learned quickly over the last couple of years of how to continue to test this and make this a product that we focus on 12 months a year.
I seen in your, I hadn't seen this clip before, but I seen in the end there, we were in a shop. I remember that. That was out in Island Park, Idaho.
Yeah.
And there, if I looked at it, there was another engineer that works for us.
Oh, yes.
From out in Montana, Shane, and a hydraulic expert. They're collecting data on our equipment. So it takes quite a group of people. I think there was 6 or 7 of us out there for a couple weeks testing in varied conditions in the mountains in heavy snow. So
I think that's a good thing to ask that question, like how are you guys testing it for my market? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's just for us. How do we test for your market? There's an example of the traveling that we do. We move around to different environments so we can test out these blowers to give you guys the best ability to be successful this winter season.
And that's that input we talked about earlier. If you have an area that you're testing or building or blowing, I should say, commercially or in your personal property, I love phone calls where you discuss, hey, I seen this issue or in this condition or doing this type function. How about this? Appreciate the input. It adds to our engineering team to get that input from our customers and end users. So.
And of
You're
course,
a bit of an extension. You guys are an extension to our engineering team. You truly are. So that input is just an extension to what we're trying to develop and do each and every day. So you reaching out to us as an extension helps us so much, and we sure appreciate that.
Now, of course, the team has grown. It grew again in the summer. And before we get to that employee, I need to make a quick acknowledgement that both that Isabel and Terry Ostina are all, Noah's got a huge fan club. You're all watching. We see you. His sister is watching. Hello to Noah's sister. We want to make sure that we're keeping everybody at home.
All in the family.
All happy. We want to make sure they're all happy. Now,
Grandpa Terry too. I think you grew up with him, so that's pretty outstanding.
So we added a friendly face at MUSKOX here in the summer. Should we meet him?
Yeah, 100.
Who's friendly around here?
There's literally one person, and we're about to see who that is.
Hi, I'm Paul Mulmunger. I'm working here at MUSKOX since about April, which is about 7 months ago. I work in engineering. I've been an engineer, I guess, all my life here for about 40-ish years or so. And I happen to have worked with Ron back in the old days for about 20 years, and now I'm back. We're back together. My expertise is probably in the CAD area of it. That's always been what I've done, I guess, starting way back. That's kind of what they need help with. Ron's got all kinds of ideas, right? He's got a lot of ideas, and our job is to get them on paper, so to speak, so that people can make them.
Ron, I have to ask, what have you done to sweet Paul? Because the way that his voice dropped, Ron's got a lot of ideas, and we just got to get him on paper.
Can you, if I say a swear word,
No.
can you bleep it out? I'll skip the word.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. You can make the calculation, but I can't bleep it.
Okay.
However, we're not broadcasting on television, so we're not bound by those.
It won't be bad. It'll just be, it's nothing that Donald Trump wouldn't say. You see that look in my face? Anyway, so Paul, he's at Arctic. We're designing snowmobiles. That's what Paul and I did. And his desk was right next to my office, and I'd step out and say, hey, Paul, you know, we've got this fastener on this race sled that I'd like you to make smaller, this part. I'd like you could take 3 grams out of that, do that. You know what Paul would say? Take a shit. If you all could understand that, he was talking about the racers. That little bit of weight didn't make any difference. So anyway, that was okay to get by with that one.
Well, we went there, and that's all right.
That's all right.
But
Just a good memory of Paul.
Darn right. And I love all the new memories we're creating with Paul, right? I think at least the little I get to work with Paul, like I do get to hang out at the shop with you guys, do get insight to a lot of what's going on out here. And I think John nailed it. Like Paul's just a super kind soul.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes to Paul to complain about trying to get their idea through.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he sits there, he takes it all in like a sponge. Last night, these guys were setting up cameras till late. You were off to Minneapolis developing a new product for us. And Paul's in the shop still well past everybody left. Now he's getting his jobs done because all day he's listening to everybody's ideas. And
marketing people have ideas.
Yeah.
No,
Not always good
no,
ideas.
we don't.
But.
We never say a word.
No, they're all good ideas.
Now, last summer, then, we completed our 2024 build. Tell us about that. What does that mean for MUSKOX? How many blowers, if you want to go there? And just give us a picture of what crossing over into we're done building, now it's time to ship these things. What does that look like now, especially at this point in the company's history?
Yeah, I think what's neat is this was our biggest year ever, right? We sold more blowers. We've built more blowers and sold more blowers this year than we ever have before. And it was a challenging year.
Interest up, you know, not to be negative, but interest is up. You know, everybody got concerned. No snow last year, big concern. We appreciate, you know, the ability of our consumers to have a vision, you know, that it will snow, that there is money to be made. So a challenging year, and we feel real good where we're at, and I believe our customers do too.
Yeah, you know, every year is our most important year in business, is the current year we're in, right? That starts again on January 1st for us. We knew that going into 2024. At that point, there hadn't been a lot of snow. We knew there was going to be some challenges that were out there. I think we overcame those challenges. With those challenges come a lot of opportunities, and we've leaned into those opportunities. But this year, we were done with our build. We built more than we've ever built. I said that. We were done faster than we've ever been before. And then just put us in a better position as we were shipping these blowers out to our end users and to our dealerships. So they got their equipment faster, and we've been working on training them and getting everything set up. So as we grow as a company, where this is more from an idea that we had to a full business with a lot of employees, this is now 12 months a year for you and I and a lot of other people, is that starting early in the season and getting our builds done earlier all the time, it's a big accomplishment. Our vendors, if they're watching, appreciate that, right? It's interesting, like somebody goes, well, hey, you guys are sold out. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, are you gonna build more? There's a lot that goes into building these machines. It's projecting a year out, 2 years out as we build these machines, and we've definitely learned that. So it was awesome to wrap up earlier than we ever have and get these snowblowers sent all over.
Now, there's one other thing we did last summer, and If you're watching still, I think we have 30 people with us right now. Thank you. This is the part where we need to sort of hijack this and talk a little bit about what it looks like inside the company while we're producing these snowblowers. So one of the things that I know everybody at MUSKOX appreciates about Ron and Adam is that even while we are pushing ahead on production, we are innovating on the snowblower, we are trying to bring you better and more frequent media so you can see what this machine does, they are still incredibly concerned about this company feeling like friends and even like family. And some companies, you might get a sad little pizza party on your birthday or maybe a gift card. And Adam and Ron did something incredibly different this past summer. So I'm going to show you some of the photos we took during that and explain what is going on here. So last summer, MUSKOX took a trip to Wisconsin Dells, and you can see two of the young boys here jumping in to the pool. And what was cool about this trip was that you invited all of our families to come along with. So it wasn't just employee appreciation, it wasn't just spouse appreciation, it was family appreciation. And it gave us a chance to be this huge group, this big MUSKOX family, around the fire, around the grill. We all got the chance to hang out. All of our kids got to hang out with each other and become best friends. And it was a chance to really just both reflect on where we've been, where we're going. Adam got to be cool Uncle Adam, which I think is a big part of his life and what he enjoys. And there we all are in the gorgeous in Wisconsin Dells. So on behalf of all the employees, thank you both. What were some of your memories from that time and that trip?
You get a tear in your eye.
Yeah, it really does. Like you said, starting this 8 years ago, like Ron came out of a bad illness, right? Like he had cancer, and we spent 34 straight days together in a hospital. And you start to have a vision of something you want to do and what is important in life in those moments. And him and I had never worked together, right? Like we had two completely different paths that we took in life. And sitting there, something that was really important to me as he was getting healthier was to have an opportunity to work together. And we didn't know what that was going to look like. Just kind of chatted about how important this relationship was. And we kind of caught lightning in a bottle with an idea. And an idea that benefited your life for your use, my life for my business use. And then anyway, to fast forward that to seeing that many people that we genuinely care about, love, would do anything for, is just super rewarding. And anyway, it's funny, it's just, it flashes you back. I was less emotional when we were there, but photos do something to people, right? And it's memories. And you as you grow up, you look back at photos and videos and you create these memories of your family, right? Now we're creating that with this new family and all these wonderful and super talented people we get to work with.
No, I echo that 100%. I know every day I come to work and, here at Mentor, or you guys down in Grand Forks or Fargo, we have people that work remotely, and we just love to get together. It feels like a big family. Highly important to Adam and I. Maybe we get a little too interpersonal, but it's the way we live our life and the way our company is, period, right?
Yeah, I think it's a true reflection of our personalities. And I just can't say it enough. When these snowblowers the two of us get in front of this camera often enough, and we get in a lot of the videos, but you just saw probably 55 people that really make this company what it is, and we're not slowing down.
We're not slowing down.
No, hell no. We are.
Sky's the limit, right up here. Huh?
Correct. And what created that opportunity for that sky to be the limit is just this outstanding group of people we get to work with. We keep adding to that group, and we keep just nailing it with all the people we keep on adding. So from the original people that helped us out, a few of them are here right now, to all the new people. It's just fantastic to see.
There's passionate people, I think. Passionate about their jobs, passionate about life. You see that when you interview people, when they come in, they want to work with us, seeing that twinkle in their eye, highly important to both Adam and I. So I'd like to thank everybody.
Love it.
I'll turn my mic on. We got a comment from our COO, Travis, just saying, much love to the MUSKOX family and to the Bergman family. Thank you for all you have done and all you do. And I will say, having the family focus of MUSKOX, it gives you some very, very powerful partisans in my children who now openly roast any snowblower they see that isn't a MUSKOX. We'll be driving through town and my 6-year-old, my 7-year-old, like, that's not a MUSKOX. Better, driveway would look a whole lot better if it was. So we very much appreciate that. Now, we had to end. Of course, all summer comes to an end. That's one of the reasons this company exists, is that it's not summer all year round. And we got some new people here in the shop in the fall. So should we meet Lucas?
We'll call him newish, but yeah, let's see. Let's see, Lukey.
Yeah, go ahead.
All righty.
Hi, I'm Lucas Brown here with MUSKOX Snowblowers. I do the assembly management and work with Ron real close in R&D and manufacturing. Do a lot of different stuff.
A lot of different stuff. Ron, I get the sense that Lucas is a man of few words. Would you mind filling in a few of the gaps with what Lucas does here for you?
Well, pretty much everything. One thing he did, he turned into a 18-year-old here just in the last month. So the pressure's on him now. Before he was a kid, now he's a man. So his job and his responsibilities keep stepping up. But yeah, he's been right-hand man to me in R&D. He jumps in there, welds, cuts, wants to make parts. He happens to be a real tall, skinny kid. So anybody that comes in a shop thinks he's another one of my sons, just because he is physique. But no, great, intelligent young kid. He's been around working for me since he was probably about up to my belt loops, I suppose. I think he was 9, 10 years old. I had him running skid loader for me. So has a broad base and continues to help MUSKOX move into the next stratosphere.
I sure hope OSHA isn't watching this right now as you talk, but I love the transparency.
No, he just did the dishes and stuff for us. Prior to he turned 18, he was clerical and dishwasher.
But yeah, no, Luke, I mean, I don't work with Luke every day, but I just echo that. Yeah. When you come into the shop, if you need to there's a lot of helping hands around here, a lot of people in different areas that will always step up and help. But there's a lot of things. Luke's got a lot of abilities, from running equipment to welding to fixing things to, John, another talent he has, I'm taking my little sister ice fishing, and I've hired Luke to be the guide because he's a good ice fisherman as well. So he's a man of many talents, and it's fun to see that. We talked about all the potential people have that we get to see as we grow. He's 18 years old. The sky's the limit for him. He's got a lot of talent. So it's going to be fun to see where Luke goes, and hopefully we get to go along the ride.
Experiences
for
with
Luke's
us.
talents.
Yep, you bet.
Now, we built all those machines. When you tell us a little bit about how shipping has changed this year, what we're working on, what it looked like, and where we'd like to go with shipping in the future. Because if you can't get the machines to the customer in a way that they are safe, intact, and most importantly, quick, what does shipping look like for this company, and what do you foresee going forward as we face the challenges of shipping this large number of blowers?
Yeah, I think as we've grown, that shipping's really evolved. It's touched different hands, and everybody can say, hey, as you grow as a business, you should have had this person doing that 2 years ago, 1 year ago, or 6 months ago. But the checking count kind of dictates what we do sometimes, and we're very fortunate to move Dean focusing on that role. Part of it helped by you guys starting building earlier, getting everything built faster than we ever did. But we got a lot more organized with that than ever before. And that shipping was just fun to see, because when we're shipping to 36 different states, all over Canada, shipping up to Alaska, which is kind of wild how product gets up there. That shipping really was fun to watch. Those machines going out, it was basically turned into a daily operation of seeing machines getting shipped all over. And it's such a different experience. You guys are used to it. We're used to it. Amazon changed the world. What people expect when you ship something is that a box is going to show up and they're going to follow it on their cell phone where everything was at. And I think we've really leaned into that, took a huge step forward with that this year, as just having dedicated time to do it. And I'm just really excited to see that, because it's an experience that they have with Muskox. You buy that blower, you want to track that blower. So for you guys looking this year or maybe next year, as we're selling out of the product for this season, you get an opportunity to track that machine from when it's built, it's customized, there's a high touch experience with it, and then getting shipped out to your location. We know it's a part of the experience we create, and we're excited to see where that continues to go.
Yeah, no, well said. Shipping's a big part of it, getting product out. I know Dean's worked hard here on the phone daily, coordinating trucks. And, like Adam, like you said, the location isn't just north of Mentor.
Yeah.
We go way out east, way out west, up to Alaska. It was just fun to watch out there. I remember when 3 semis pulled in the yard, we put 20 blowers in each semi, headed them up to Alaska for one shipment. It was just like, well, look where we came, from. I remember when we built 10 blowers and we were high-fiving, So anyway, very important to see growth and get the right people. I don't know how you could do it without talented people each controlling their own area. It's highly important.
Now,
Well said.
before we get to winter,
Yeah.
we've got another question.
Okay.
You guys love winter. I love getting rid of winter. That's why I joined the company. Jesse, hey, any chance we will see you guys at the Equipment Expo in Louisville, Kentucky? I know that you guys love getting on the road. I know that we love getting out to a lot of different shows. So what's it going to be, Adam? Equipment Expo?
I was walking around there this year, so it was a one-man trip. Ron was a little busy at that time, so then I went out there. I checked out the show, Jesse. It sure looks like a good opportunity for us. The timing is not perfect, right? Timing's everything in life. It's during a busy time for us, but busy for everybody. But you're gonna find Muskox in the future at that show, and it might be with more than just a snowblower.
I have to say, I'm going to use that diplomatic response with my children. Like, hey, can we go to Dairy Queen right now, Dad? The timing just isn't ideal right now, but we will go to Dairy Queen at some point. So this winter has been a big year. I'm going to show you a video, and I'd like you guys to just explain what's going on. So without further ado, here's something that happened this winter. So this looks like a muskox, but that's not a video that I or Peter has filmed. Adam, would you mind explaining to the folks at home what we're looking at here?
Well, this is kind of what they call a segue when it comes to talking, but we talked about video games earlier. Kind of forgot this was coming up, but it's super neat for us. So Muskox, a couple of weeks ago, got asked to be in a video game. So that's pretty wild for us. We were talking about Mario Brothers and Santa Claus earlier, but now you're going to be able to purchase or get a Muskox snowblower on a very popular video game that's available. So Peter's been working with a lot with the design, putting it together, but an animator put that together. They thought our product was really cool and wanted to add it to a popular video game. So I don't know if when we started that was like on that list of boxes we wanted to check, or it was a goal. Maybe it could have been a stretch goal, but it's pretty neat. The MUSKOX is on a video game.
If I talk to him, the Mario ravine, could I see if he could eliminate that? Maybe we could put a bridge across it or something.
So we need to mention the game is Farming Simulator 25. And also an important note that for this, no money changed hands. We didn't approach them. They didn't approach us. There was no pay for play, whatever. We were just thrilled that they wanted to include a MUSKOX in it, and we agreed, yep, that's cool. And actually, one of our sales guys, Mike, said, hey, we're going to begin this game, Farming Simulator 25. Oh my gosh! I love Farming Simulator 25.
Is Mike watching this? Mike actually plays Farming Simulator.
He loves.
Does that really surprise you?
I am not going to take him on a Mario then. I mean, if he's a gamer.
There's like tens of millions of people that play this game.
Really?
And,
wow.
to be a part of that, it's just a huge compliment to the product, the brand, what all of these guys, not us, what everybody does to put it out onto the internet is pretty wild. It's pretty humbling, and it's really, really neat. And I just might have to get back into gaming because I'd love to run one of those on that.
You should spin the camera around and get a picture of these guys working back there.
You know, Ron, if we were all as pretty as you, we'd have the cameras on us. But
this is quite a production, by the way. You know, we come in here and I think the first, did we have a Polaroid? No, it was a phone camera. Took a picture of us, and then we put it in. Was it a newspaper? Or I can't remember exactly what happened. Yeah. And then you made a video, and I remember that going viral. Yeah. And we go, holy cow, what do we do now? This is, wow, it seems like somebody might want to buy these.
And Ron,
and then here we are. They have this major production and make us look good, you know.
Well,
right?
That's about the perfect segue you just gave me there, because yes, the original MUSKOX demo video that Peter shot did go viral. But this past winter, we talk a lot about how the operators are such an important part of our feedback loop. You're also an important part of our advertising loop. Frankly, a lot of my job and Peter's job is sometimes done by someone with a cell phone. So here, Adam and Ron, can you explain how many views this video got and what we're looking at with the MUSKOX here? This video was from Facebook.
So everybody goes, how do you make a viral video? I don't know. There's no recipe towards it. The internet just decides something's neat. So this is the most basic use of our snowboard. I don't even look
that neat. I mean, it's doing the function, but I wouldn't have picked that as being holy cow. But go ahead.
So we appreciate the operator that shared it. So we had an operator put it on the internet, and all of a sudden that thing went from 1,000 views to in about one day it hit 1 million views, and it got to 1.5 million views. So it's pretty outstanding to see how that went. And I think it speaks compliments to the product, right? To us, this is in its simplest form, but how people gravitate towards this product, how it's so unique in its simplest form. We spend so much time.
It's going backwards. I suppose that is weird. It's like
just save the time, and it's pulling back on that rubber cutting edge.
Yeah.
And you're using that leveling wheel on the side to do it. It's just
sure.
It's really neat to see how the product in its simplest form wins with people, as we spend so much time on details and to see that work. So that was really neat.
I was going to say so much time on the internet. The first time I'd seen this, so I guess my age kind of is set up. I like to read the green sheet, look at ads.
I forgot about that.
This interweb deal is pretty high-tech stuff.
Right on.
Pretty cool. Good job, guys.
Adam and Ron, little note. We're live, so we know this. Currently, Adam, your microphone is off, so we're using another microphone source. So you can lean over towards Ron. You can be close friends with him.
Put this up here?
Nope, you're good. Don't do anything with that.
This one?
The other one.
So while we're doing this, folks, I will let you know if you have any questions. We are coming close to the end of the stream. So if you have any questions about the MUSKOX, please drop them in the chat below.
Breaker.
We will be getting to as many as we can before the stream ends. We appreciate your time. We want you to know that if you are interested in getting a MUSKOX this year, our inventory is extremely limited. we really would need you to get in touch soon. I think we are almost entirely out of 78s.
We are out of 78s.
We are out of 78s. So if you wanted a 78-inch blower, you'll have to look for us next year. There are some dealer partners, I believe, who still have 78. So if you want a 78 and you're unsure if a dealer around you has them, please get in touch with us. We are more than happy to get you in touch with a dealer. They are our partners. We want to make sure that all the blowers get out there. If you're interested in a 60 or a 90, please get in touch. So with that, we are getting close to the end. Drop your questions. And of course, we are always going to be available. Like Ron said, we really prioritize trying to make sure that our customers have a very smooth, quick route to us. Would you please, Adam, go ahead and can you just tell me a little bit about what else happened last winter? Tell us a little bit about the dealers we've been adding.
So dealer partners are super important to this business. Everybody has a different experience they want. Some people like to buy on the internet, and some people absolutely love the relationships with dealers. So we have a lot of great dealer partners. And just moving forward as we grow this business, if you are a dealer interested in working with MUSKOX, reach out to us. Our goal is not to have 10 dealers in a town of 50,000 people. Our goal is to have the right dealers in the right locations with the right type of partnerships. So if you are a dealer interested in the MUSKOX, if you like what you see of our product, reach out to us. We want to continue to grow with you. And with that being said, we want to say a huge thank you to you dealers that we currently operate with. We appreciate how you've helped grow this business. And if you're interested in joining the MUSKOX team, running with the herd as we develop new products, reach out to us. We love to work with you.
Now, with that, we've also been selling a lot of blowers with our team here. And maybe we should show the folks just how many states have blowers this year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, there it is.
Texas.
Yeah, that was wild.
We are not popular in the Confederacy.
Yeah, we sold our first blower in Texas this year.
They call that bullshit.
Back to your swearing again on the camera.
BS.
The stream is now
So
officially
really,
PG-13.
huh? Wow.
Yeah, we sold one in Texas in like August at some point. So it's pretty wild to see that. See that screen. What we put out there is very accurate to anything that we talk about, but it was exciting to see that. I don't know if we can add many more states, but appreciate all of you guys to look at that screen, see all of that yellow, and see how this company, small business, has touched out to all those areas. Is pretty outstanding. It's pretty humbling. It's really neat. And pretty soon we're going to be not only in all 50 states, but all the countries with that video game. So that's going to be pretty neat as we touch on all of that.
Exciting. Awesome. I hadn't seen that map. That way to go, guys. Good job.
It's pretty cool. Now, in addition to that, we should probably remind people that the MUSKOX is compatible with a pretty wide gamut of skid steers. So in case anybody is looking for what skid steers we're compatible with, instead of having you recite them all, here we go. Tell us a little bit about all these brands.
If I got into every brand, we'll just say that every brand is pretty outstanding, right? Like we've ran a lot of skid steers. You've ran a lot of skid steers, but they're pretty outstanding, each one of those brands. They all have their pros, I would say, across the board. You see some of them in our videos, but we absolutely appreciate the innovation that every one of these are doing.
I can speak to that. We get customers that'll bring their loader here for us to set it up. I get the benefit of running all the new equipment. And, I'm just looking at the list there, the new Kubota. We ran one of those for quite some time, loved it. Caterpillar just came out with an excellent unit, just totally updated it. Bobcat, we had one in here the other day, a skid loader that was, you could run it from your cell phone. I'm going, God, could I run into stuff? Imagine me doing a game with a cell phone and a real skid loader. Just great innovation from all these companies. John Deere, how much have we run at John Deere? Many hours. So my kudos out to these companies that developed this product. We see the things that it takes to develop a durable product and keep learning. Just like these loader companies, they keep updating because they keep learning how to make things better. So we're in a great partnership with all the drive units that run our snow blowers. So.
Yeah, I think JCB, Volvo, Mustang, New Holland, Yanmar, Wacker. I mean, we run on all of them. Gale's, I saw Gale that got put together, but it's absolutely outstanding what these companies are doing, and it's great that. So for you guys that look into a MUSKOX snowblower, rest assured that we work on every brand of skid steer that we've run across to this point. So if you guys do have any brand of skid steer, you're looking at ordering one for this winter season, reach out to us, and there's a good chance that we're going to be a perfect fit for you.
Yeah, and that gives the example when I talked about wire harnesses. We wish they'd all get together and use the same pinouts, but we do understand each one of the products. If we don't, we research it, and we'll hook it up and work with you to make sure that our product runs with your drive unit.
Now, we had a little tease at the beginning of this this live stream that Ron, of course, like Paul said, always has some ideas. So when can people expect to hear from us about some of our new ideas and some of the things Ron's been tinkering with in the back of the shop? When are people going to see us as we wind this live stream down to a close? There have been some more comments, by the way. They've all been, you guys rock, you guys are awesome. And I know that you guys play humble on the internet pretty well, but I didn't want to inflate your egos off the internet too much. But anyway, thank you all for the comments. Thank you all for the love. Adam, when are we going to be seeing each other again? When will we be live here again with our folks?
So sometime right at the end of February, beginning of March. So when we get a little bit later into the spring, we have some new products that are far enough down the road that we're confident will be coming out. So what Ron's been working on, but also with Paul, Tim, Shane, Luke, they're all working on these products, all putting their effort into it. But you guys as operators are also giving us feedback that's helped with those ideas. So we do have some products that are getting tested right now that we're really excited about. They're kind of spread out.
End users, we have started doing that where we'll go out to guys that we feel will give us input, honest input, not like, oh yeah, you're great, but input that's real. So we do have a few products that are out being run right now, and looking forward to those results, which will turn into new product intros, which will allow marketing to make that decision when that happens. So get ready.
Yeah. Drum roll to the date. Watch for us. We'll be launching our brand new products. We'll have an engineering special this spring in which we'll go on what these guys have been working on, what this company's been working on, and we're really excited about the future and what that's going to mean to this company, but also to you guys operating the machines. Our responsibility to you is to come up with innovative ideas that make your operation run better. So watch for that. That will be dropping soon, and we're really excited about what 2025 is going to bring.
Now, any final words before we head out of here?
Ron?
I think I said quite a bit. Next time we do this, if you notice, they put a camera over here so I could be on, and then Adam here. But if you'll notice, he talks with this hand a lot, and he gets it right up in front of me. If we could work on the positioning here a little bit, because he's kind of cutting off my feed here a little bit.
Anything for you, Ron. I appreciate that you guys talk to each other today. I know that isn't a usual thing anymore this many years into the company, but anything for you, Ron, of course.
Thank you, guys. No, thank you, all our customers. And Adam, thank you for doing what you do in this company.
Wonderful.
Right. I'll try to do a better job and not say what Ron did wrong today. I'll talk about the right things, the right things that he does do. Right. So it takes a village to do a company, and it's outstanding. Thanks to Ron and everything he does, but thank to everybody in this company. It's exciting for him and I to be building this together, and it's pretty outstanding what we've achieved with everybody that we work with everybody that's out there. And thank you for a great 2024 to the operators, to everybody that we work with, to our vendors, and to Ron. Thank you for a great 2024, and let's kick some ass in 2025.
Oh, this is a family video.
You led me to that.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Now, I will tell you that MUSKOX Snowblowers is led intrepidly by Ron and Adam Bergman. Shout out to our leadership team, our COO, Travis Smith. Thank you, Travis, for all that you do. Bob Fossum is our CFO. Thank you, Bob. Cassidy Will is our social media manager, emailer, all-time, just extremely helpful person when it comes to especially getting our dealers in the right spot, getting our dealer boxes out. Our sales team is Mike Anderson, Reed Anderson, no relation, Nate Tangen, and occasionally myself, John Gerke. I'm also a part of the video team here with Mr. Peter Wagner of Media Kiln. He has been behind the camera all day. Peter, would you mind stepping out so people can get one look at you? Peter has been the producer of this live stream. We could not do it without Peter. Peter is the one who has been planning this out, building this out, so we especially appreciate Peter's work. Peter's brother James is here. James Wagner is on sound right over to my right. The shop is run by Mr. Dean Phillips. You met Lucas, you met Tim, you met Paul. There are probably people whose names I am missing here. Thank you to all the spouses who put up with all of this. That is an incredibly integral part of MUSKOX. I think I've thanked everybody.
Shane Hilliard,
Shane Hilliard, cowboy from Montana.
The real cowboy.
Shane is an incredible designer, an incredible craftsman when it comes to designing the MUSKOX, and also a legitimate cowboy. So Shane, if you're watching, mea culpa, he will come down from the mountains in Montana to get me. So with that, we will see all of you next spring. Hope that you have a safe winter, and I hope that the MUSKOX saves you time that you can spend with your family and friends, because that's the whole reason we do this. With that, we'll see you next spring. Bye-bye.